Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to CCT North Europe Series 4. My name is Sneaky, and in a couple of minutes, hopefully, I will be joined by Hayes to bring you through the rest of today's action. Unfortunately, he's having a couple of technical issues on his end, which we should be resolving in just a moment. But thankfully, as far as I know, there will be no technical hitches going into the start of this game. It's our final series of the day. It will be 500 versus Voyvoda, a Bulgarian derby to wrap things off. And I reckon this one should be a fairly closely contested affair. And by God, that was a smooth transition. Hello there, Hayes. Welcome aboard. Oh my goodness, look at those muscles. And he's gone. Well, in that case, going back into some pre-game, we have had a day of 2-0s so far. We came off the back of a Saw versus Sangal 2-0 victory. Gamer Legion beat the likes of, I will grab that up for you now. Gamer Legion beat Ecstatic, and in the first series of the day, Monty beat Harvu. Now, in this 500 versus Voyvoda series, 500 are looking very warm. They just 2-0'd Sprout in another tournament. Voyvoda, on the flip side, have already had a roster change as of late. Sleepy has been standing in for Han, but I do believe that Poison is also going to be playing instead of Red Star, so they're a little bit all over the place at the moment. They played fantastically recently, almost beating out Cloud9 in two back-to-back 16-14 losses to win the RES Masters and qualify for Blast Premier. They managed to beat Aurora, Bad News Eagles, Eternal Fire, and Nexus, a huge swathe of Tier 1.5 teams. And honestly, if they can replicate that with Sleepy, who played fantastically recently standing in for them, they still stand a pretty damn good chance here. But just going off of who has the more complete roster, I think 500 have to be the favourites. And production, do we have any of the team graphics ready? Okay, well, let's go into 500. Gorgeous stuff. As you can see, 500 is made up of Patrick, Nicky, Ships, Rainmaker, Denny Slaw, and the former honoris IGL Ingrasso, making his coaching debut here. Yeah, this team, as I said, just come off the back of a win versus Sprout. Not the achievement that it used to be a couple of months ago, unfortunately, as Sprout are really struggling. But they did lose versus Aurora, a team that Voyvoda dispatched off despite having a missing player. They did beat Into the Breach, but losses versus Honoris and LDLC are honestly my biggest concerns. But within these past 6 matches, they do still have that win over the likes of Voyvoda. Voyvoda on the flip side, Hayes, if you're back, should I let you take yourself through them?
Yeah, listen, this team going through some changes. I mean, obviously, when they came into the mix, they had Han as their AWPer. He departed the team. Poison has come in his place. Red Star, normally a part of the roster. Actually, the best performing player at the moment is Red Star. He's not featuring today. We don't know what that reason is, so it won't even waste our time speculating. Sleepy is in his place now. I've never seen Sleepy play before, so this is going to be my first time I get a look at him. The one thing that I will say, it feels like Bubble's actually been overperforming lately. I feel like we've been seeing some really good individual level out of Bubble lately, so he's certainly going to have to keep that game up right now. But yeah, considering the fact that Voyvoda are playing with the stand-in and Poison pretty recently joined this team, you would have to say that 500 have their noses in front, right? That they're the slight favorites coming into the series.
I mean, and they're warm as well, off the back of a 2-0 victory, so they've not completely overexerted themselves. They did win it in overtime on that second at the pick of their opposition, almost threw that one away. But yeah, they've warmed up, they're ready to take on Voyvoda. They beat them before, they're certain they can do it again, especially, as you said, with Voyvoda's roster being a little bit all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, they're actually, they've played 2 best-of-3s against each other in the past sort of 2 months, and they've each won 1. So this is the decider of the best-of-3 series, essentially, to see who the true kings of Bulgarian Counter-Strike are, I suppose. You could always just have these 2 teams going toe-to-toe for that mantle. Let's switch across to the Veto. Let's see what maps we're going to have here in the series between these 2 teams. Inferno, picked by Voyvoda. No surprise at all. That's their bread and butter. That's the map that they love to play. They beat Bad News Eagles on it convincingly recently, and Eternal Fire as well. So they're happy whenever they can get Inferno in the mix. They even managed to beat Aurora. So remarkable results for Voyvoda on that map recently.
I mean, I was looking at the tournament, and it's honestly crazy. Voyvoda 16-13 Eternal Fire and 16 forward Bad News Eagles on that Inferno. And then up against Aurora, they 2-0 them, also with Inferno in the map, 16-13. And the 16-11 on Nuke as well. So this is like looking really solid for Voyvoda.
Not only that, they played Cloud9 and they lost 16-14 on the map. So even against tier 1 opponents, against a team as good as Cloud9, they're still able to go the distance. So yeah, Inferno, a stronghold for Voyvoda to say the least. Nuke picked by 500. That's a peculiar one, just because their results don't really look phenomenal. But when you scratch beneath the surface, it's actually not too bad. The 3 recent losses they've had, Sneaky, were against 9 and Honorous, along with Aurora. Now, the 2 losses to the Polish teams were in overtime and full 30-round losses, and then a 16-4 loss against Aurora. That's a bit of a blemish, but
I was there
in
for that
general,
one as well.
still a really good map for 500.
Yeah, they're fairly solid on it, as you said. It is their win rate that concerns me slightly. 39% over 13 maps played in the past 3 months. Yes, they have been able to get those overtimes. Yes, they've been able to make it competitive for the majority of their games. But I think this map pool just very heavily favours Voyvoda, even with the lapse in core roster. I mean, Sleepy, he's not entirely new to the scene. He used to play for Mbappé back in 2020, and he's been playing in open qualifiers since then. He's not completely new to the scene and also boasted a very impressive rating, to win a tournament with Voyvoda in a finals quite recently. But yeah, unfortunately, there is no Red Star today, so that comparison is a little void. But Rainmaker on the flip side, still a very impressive player. Always a player you should be looking out for. And he's got quite a lot of history in the Bulgarian scene as well. I don't think it's sane for me to say Voyvoda should be winning this one, but I'm going to do it anyway, Hayes, because I back the boys, and I think Sleepy is a decent enough stand-in that he can elevate the level of this squad.
Well, you know, I mean, for the fun of it, and because I think there might be some truth to it, I'll go on the flip side of that. I'll take the opposite. I'll go 500. Look at that impact rating there on Red Star,
pretty good.
Sneaky. That's 1.17. You're removing that from your team, and you're slotting Sleepy into the mix. If his name's anything to go for, well, obviously it's not. But that would be a great transition. You've got Star in Red Star, obviously the shining star, right? But still, like I said, I think 500. I mean, it's not like it's an uncomfortable map pool for them. On every map that gets played here in this series, they've got a really good foundation, a good base, a good identity. They know their game. So it's not like they're going to get punished on any of the maps. Playing against the stand-in as well. I think that Voyvoda might actually lack in the firepower department, Sneaky. You know, Oxygen 0.99 rating in the past 3 months. Bubble 1.04, Poison 1.09. It's on Dreamer. I mean, he has been the star player, 1.14 rating. He's looking great, but he's got no room for error now, Sneaky, as we try and get your camera focused in.
Not playing ball today. Come on, come back to me. We're trying.
You gotta put your hand over it completely, Sneaky.
There we go. No, we're good.
Okay.
No, this isn't like my first rodeo. Don't worry, Hayes.
Okay, all right, if you say so. Dreamer he has to be the hero today. He can't not pitch up for Voyvoda.
Yeah. No, you're completely right. Although Poison as well, I reckon, could be a pretty decent piece of the puzzle. Like, he's not a player you want to rule out entirely. Obviously, still wearing that Fnatic jersey there. He's not been given too many chances in the tier 1 sphere in recent times, especially. Formerly of Complexity, I believe, before that. And he did find good success there. It really is just... You never know what kind of poison you're going to find in the server, because his inconsistencies are what has barred him from the high tier 2, tier 1 scene for a long time. Sometimes he will have one of the most amazing games you've ever seen. He's a super talented guy. And then other days he will be completely lackluster. But I hope today we get to see a spicy look at the one and only Poison. A Sleepy 22. Look at his smile. How could you ever doubt a man with a smile that charming?
Well, that's why you doubt them. The smile's too convincing. Why have you got such a nice smile? That's the question I ask Patrick. Well, Oxygen not going to be smiling in this round. There's going to be a burst in towards the B bomb site, though. Julius on Ships, even though he gets blinded up, will still be good for a kill. Great counter flash coming through there from Nikki, and Ships sails into the horizon with 3 kills to his name. Great start to the pistol round coming through for 500.
Yeah, that is honestly not quite what I expected. You said Dreamer needed to show up. Now's his opportunity. 1v5, a 4-man crossfire, and Chips doesn't give a damn.
He
Chips
loves
is
the
king of
Julies.
banana. Right? He loves the Julies, and he loves the Mag 7, and he is one of the only people in the world who can make both of them work as a deadly combo from half wall.
Yeah, he's such a fun player to watch, and he has been for years now. He's really managed to stay consistent over the years, I would say.
Yes.
How old do you think Chips is, Sneaky? I'm gonna throw that one at you.
I feel like with the amount of time he's been around, I'd say something like 30, but I reckon he's only like 24.
Okay, so I mean, he played in his first professional team in 2016 with B-Pro. He is 22 years old.
No way!
Chips
no
is
way that man is 22.
He is 22 years old.
Are you looking at the right ships? I don't believe you.
Yeah, absolutely on HLTV right now. He could still have his best years ahead of him.
A major player is not lying. And he's got an MVP as well. What a mad lad. What an absolute mad lad. An HLTV MVP at that young. That means he was 17 when he got his HLTV MVP. Deary me. There's a reason they've kept him around in the Bulgarian scene, clearly. If not for his Julies and Mag 7 prowess alone. Well, speaking of prowess, Voyvoda looked to exhume some of theirs on towards this a bomb site, but Oxygen, swiftly cut on down by Rainwaker, puts a pretty sore point to what looked to be a short and waterfall crush. Unfortunately, we've lost Hayes for a moment, but don't worry, he'll come back to us soon. Now lifts back up as Rainwaker displays a nice bit of his own power towards the short side, sprays on down a few. Okay, Bubble. Speaking of overperforming, Bubble, 2 gorgeous Tech 9 headshots in a 3-man crossfire. There's no way he should have gotten away with that second one. His 500 are looking pretty nifty, but Voyvoda still shows signs of life. Coming into this third round of play now. Voyvoda, still not much to say. No weaponry behind them. A single flashbang and some P250s to seal the deal. Bubble has afforded himself a deagle as well. A little treat for his previous round's antics as Oxygen, my goodness, brutalised. As Bubble, by God, look at the openers on these pistols. Find another onto Nikki. And it will be the 5v4. Bubble taking damage. Does still fall away with that MP9 and makes things a little bit more problematic now for the 500 boys. Denny's Law, though. Freebie onto Oxygen, and things are back to normality. Back up towards brackets now. Could overwhelm Denny's Law here. As he basically runs out of ammo. Forced back into the depths of CT. There's only one A bomb site player here. I'm starting to get a bit worried, but not so much anymore. Patrick gets a 3-case radar. Denny Claw jumps in for another, and 500 will bag 3 on the board. 3-0 now for the Bulgarian side up against their Bulgarian brothers. The Voyvoda now have an opportunity to win a gun round. Also, whilst you're here, ladies and gents, don't forget to check out our partners over at hellcase.com. You go CCT for a free 70-cent and a 10% deposit or refill bonus. Please do remember that case openings and upgrades are still gambling, so please do gamble responsibly. Don't gamble if you're under the age of 18. Don't gamble with more than you can afford to lose, and don't go chasing your losses, as it is simply not worth it. Should be a worthwhile round for Voyvoda, though, as the Cure and Nikki, or the Cure and Poison, I like the irony of the name there, will go down early doors. Sleepy follows suit, both go 0-4, Bubble's the only man with a frag, and 500 are absolutely dominating Voyvoda, except Bubble. Bubble is a different breed. Hayes, if you can hear me, you are absolutely right. He is performing above and beyond. 2 Tech 9 kills in a 3-man crossfire trying to isolate him. A dig to open up the round of the previous. It was incredibly spicy. And the only kill of their first rifle round so far, as Bubble is a joy to watch. But on the flip side, 500, even more so, and Bubble does a silly, forgets to check his corners.
Yeah, oversight for sure means Rainmaker gets the kill for free. Looks like Dreamer's going to try to trade out his captain. Oxygen doesn't have any support utility to throw, so Dreamer actually has to throw a bit of an uncomfortable smoke grenade. Where does the bomb even go from here is the question. Dreamer tries to isolate the fights, but now they don't have a smoke to aid their cause in getting on that A bomb site. There are 3 players here essentially for 500.
Ship sits patiently in graveyard as Oxygen, a necessity to show up here for Voyvoda. He kind of has the right idea, but stands in front of cover. Very weird entry pathing here, leaving Dreamer in a 1v3. Could isolate these jewels, but doesn't have enough time to plant regardless. Valiant effort. Patrick shuts him down, sits 6-0. And we're talking about Red Star's prominence. We might have to start talking about Patrick Star as well for this 500 side.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily the player you'd expect to talk about a huge amount when it comes to the fragging power on the side of 500. The Patrick, but he's 6-1 right now. 6-0.
You a SpongeBob fan, Hayes?
6-0. Absolutely, mate.
Big up Patrick Star.
Of course. Patrick's a homie, he's an OG.
Are you personal friends with him?
Of course, we go back, mate. Go back a mile. Nicky goes back into, well, the spectator slot as he's been taken out of the round. Bubble also lost his life. 1-for-1 exchange. If you're Voyvoda, you're happy with that.
Yeah, Bubble does have double the kills of anyone else on his team coming into round number 5, though. And he only has 4
all of them added
kills.
Together.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Voyvoda have had 0 to say in the early doors. And you're right, without Red Star, their wacky entry fragger with ridiculous ratings, they have looked a little bit shallow. A real
early.
depth of strategy, and yes, it is early, but I'm a bit worried after what we saw in our previous Inferno.
No more utility left remaining for the T side as they try and make their way in towards the say bomb site. 500 have a very good idea of what's going on. Chips has been happy to play B by himself, so they've got that extra player who's patrolling archers. Crossfire set up by Patrick and Rainwaker. And now they're going to charge their way forward to the two T players jumping through. Patrick and Rainwaker, both good for a single kill off the bat, but then Patrick will finish off the job by himself. Slays the enemies who took down his teammates. So that's some vengeance coming through there, Sneaky.
Yeah, 500 are looking pretty solid right now. And again, off the back of beating Voyvoda in their most recent bout, well, they look to do it again. It's a very comfortable start. 5-0. Voyvoda again have a stand-in. They have, well, technically 2 stand-ins. They don't have a 5th man right now. I've heard that Han isn't the easiest to work with. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in that department, I'll be honest. So I'll bite my tongue, Hayes, as I don't want to start any unnecessary drama on the Voyvoda side
much
overall.
To contribute, unfortunately.
Oh, when Patrick's going 9-0, thankfully he's got rather a lot to contribute, Hayes. As, ooh, that's rough for Bubble. Can Poison start the fragging, though?
Oh, Ships has gotten out of there just in time. He's going to hang around over the back of the flashbang. Poison's blinded Ships. That is criminal. Oh my god, Poison. You can't even blame him for that, man. 0-6 right now as the Bulgarian sniper.
I'm hoping that he gets the sniper in his hands again sooner rather than later. I do want to see some flashy Poison plays.
Of course.
It's a bit before my time, I suppose, in terms of casting. That fanatic and complexity. Well, I think I've casted him once before when he was again standing in for a friend's team, but nothing particularly significant as Patrick goes 10-0. Good lord, he's doing his best just impression from our previous series. As Denny's still very lucky to be alive there, somehow is afforded all of that rigor room back to library.
All 3 of the remaining players here for Voyvoda grouped up, making their way up long in towards the A-bomb site. There's a double-man deep pit setup coming through. Denny's Law on the off angle. Goes completely unaccounted for by Oxygen. That's a bit of an oversight, I think. Ships phases through the smoke. Perfect timing. Denny through the smoke gets another. Voyvoda. That's a gun round, Sneaky. They don't even get a single kill, man.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out here. 6-0. This is dominant from 500. It is statistically their best map. 14 played, a 64% win rate, but We're talking against much lesser opposition. Voyvoda, 17 maps played, an 82% win rate,
Yeah.
including against Tier 1 and Tier 1.5 opposition. Aurora, Bad News Eagles, Eternal Fire, Nexus, maybe not quite 1.5 there yet,
No,
but
definitely not.
you get what I'm saying. They have been
Yeah.
ridiculous on this map. And it is a shame
Of
that Red
course.
Star's not here. Definitely one of the crucial pieces of the puzzle, but I thought we'd see a better display than 0 kills on Poison and Oxygen. As it appears, Poison, as he's named himself, is not the cure.
By the way, it does say in the past 3 months they've played it 70 times. It's actually, that's in the past month and a half, as we do see them looking to try and double peek in towards archers, and that does nice bit of innovation and ingenuity nets them a kill, but unfortunately they've lost frags left, right, and center outside of that. 2 versus 4, big gunfight here by Bubble, 1 by Ships. Poison recovers the Deeg, but he's been spotted out, and this feels like a mere formality. That was even just, that looked like desperation there, just standing, spamming the wall. But like I was saying, Sneaky, although it says in the past 3 months they've played it 17 times, that's actually the past month and a half for Voyvoda. So they've played so much Inferno, and they've also been winning it dominantly most of the time. Like you mentioned, the only 3 teams that they've lost to were Cloud9, 500, funny enough, actually, 2 weeks ago, and Forward, and that was actually the first time they played the map. So they don't lose the map. It just doesn't happen.
Unless they're up against their Bulgarian brothers, apparently, because they're now losing 7-0, and this is the second 7-0 scoreline we see on Inferno today. Admittedly, that half ended 8-7, but Poison is currently 007. So is Oxygen. We got 2 agents here.
Oh no!
As Bubble goes down as well, and
no, that's
oh dearie me, this is looking honestly horrendous for Voyvoda.
Yeah, brutal. I mean, they've actually got 8 kills in 7 rounds. Rainwake's got 9 by himself. Patrick has 10. Oxygen, not able to get ahead of the smoke. He's been cut down. Ships phases through the smoke. Sleepy, he's sticking to the molly. Simpson's just going to knife him. There's no respect at all. Him right in front of Dreamer's very eyes. Goes back through the smoke afterwards, does Ships.
I mute my mic for 1 second, man, and a knife comes through. That was ridiculous. Voyvoda, they look lost, forgotten. As 500 are running all over them. They're knifing them in the backs. It's ridiculous. Patrick, 11-0, technically an infinite KD. Rainwaker 9-2.
Undefined.
It's undefined. And significantly better than the roster of undefined as well. I really need to stop bullying Native Savage.
Yeah, they're catching.
I'm sorry.
Catching strays. They've actually been pretty decent lately.
Yeah, honestly, they almost beat Bad News Eagles. Bad News Eagles have looked pretty terrible lately in the grand scheme of things, as that is brutal from Rainwaker. Hopefully,
that's true, right? They have been struggling, Bad News Eagles, compared to the form that they've been in, in their past, and it's almost coincided with their coach problems. I mean, they've been coming close. It just seems inconsistent.
With their second place on LAN probably really played with them mentally, because they beat Eternal Fire in that same tournament, I think 2 or 3 times already. And then to lose to them in the finals like that really messed with them. And coming second again in CCT South Europe Series 3, again to Aurora, they're struggling. They just can't close out these tournaments. And now they're struggling to even get past opening rounds. It's a difficult situation for them.
And this is the thing, is they were sort of considered above tier 2, right? Tier 1. Top of 1, tier 1.5. But now that they aren't able to close out those tier 2 cups and tournaments anymore, it's like, well, are they sort of slipping back down type of thing? Either way.
I mean, there's an argument to be made, but yeah, another time.
Definitely slipping away from Voyvoda. At a rate of knots. They've got 9 kills in 8 rounds.
Yeah, you say a rate of knots, and Ships hasn't even been the top performer. 8-2, pretty damn good, but Denny Slaw just gets another free kill. What are you doing? Bubble, an individual play, and a necessary one. As Voyvoda were on just the pistols at a Mac 10, walks over to their demise on B. I say their demise, the Molotov is well placed. Nicky's playing with extreme confidence. Doesn't want to overextend though, as Dreamer kind of does. Ships makes a bit of a mess of it, but it's a 5v2. Voyvoda lose another man, and flawless round for 500. I don't know what I'm watching right now. This is intensely disappointing.
I mean, it was actually a world in where 500 lose that second map against Sprout, and they have to play a third map in their series, and they're in the 0-2 bracket in the Swiss stage of that match. And then they have to decide, do they forfeit the first map of this playoff so they can play that third map? Do they forfeit that third map and play this game? But they won in overtime in the second map there. They had a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, and...
Well, yeah, they're back to fragging ways, aren't they? But Voyvoda, they call the tactical timeout after losing not only the half, but 9 rounds in a row. Poison and Oxygen have been useless. Sleepy, I don't think I've said his name yet in the game outside of him getting 2k sprayed down. Bubble looked amazing in the first 4 rounds, has now gone to sleep. Dreamer, yes, sort of doing some stuff. Otherwise, it's just a dominant showing from 500 here. I'm honestly a little tired of just massive streaky halves. But no, I can't be anything but impressed by 500 here. And Denny Slot,
but
that is ridiculous. Nobody spots it. The aggression is perfect. 500, they're looking for a 10-0 start here.
Looked like there was a flashbang, but Oxygen just got his knife out while he's jumping around that corner. 10-0. But it's just the way that they've gotten to this point. It's very often you'll have a game that's 9-0 or, 10-1 or something like that. And it's not really an accurate reflection of how close the half has been. It definitely is this time. Denny, perfectly timed incendiary, keeps Voyvoda at bay.
I feel like I'm literally casting ESCA Open again, man. This doesn't feel like Tier 2 Counter-Strike. Maybe ESCA Open's a little harsh, but God, Voyvoda, this is frustrating. 0 in 10 and 0 in 9. I made fun of Scrunk, but this is just depressing when it's happening across the board. Dreamer.
Yeah, that's true.
Dies 4 in 10. No one is doing anything. Patrick's got an amazing crossfire. Bubble and Sleepy find something, and they pick up the pace. Sleepy, where did that come from? He's got me awake now. Maybe a denial of 10 in a row as Poison and Sleepy, not the best for the job, but all that Voyvoda have left. Look to deny Nikki and ships this retake. Will they sail through the smoke? It seems not, as that nade does a speck of damage. Poison, not quite walking wounded, but one tappable as Nikki delivers a one tap without the A1S, the AK instead. Sleepy spotted, cut on down. At least they get the bomb planted this time, but it will be 10-0 as Voyvoda don't just flail, but they float deceased on the water.
I mean, at least that round does come close. You got to look at the fact it comes down to a 2v2. I thought they were going to win that post plant out, to be honest with you. I thought they had decent positions to work with. Great shot from Nikki to take down Poison in towards mini pit. That shot right there. Look at his crosshair as well. That's not even a crosshair. It's a dot. But yeah, a great retake. 500 actually make it look really easy. A 2v2 retake in towards the A bomb site like that should not be that easy.
No.
Double digits in as many rounds, or the least possible amount of rounds, should I say.
Shout out to our replay operators again for absolutely killing the game today. Like, they've been really good. Much love to production. As Voyvoda have not been killing it. They've not actually been killing much, as they barely survive that mid-engagement. Rainmaker does land a frag before falling. Denny one with the nade. Denny is not going to find the ult frag. Poison finally puts his first kill on the board. 3v3 ensues. Nikki dancing around alongside. Has another crossfire with Patrick here. That is a big risk from Oxygen. But Ships and Dreamer, they go blow for blow. Ships finds another, leaving Dreamer in a 1v2. And people say he's a dreamer, and now he's in the one-on-one.
No.
John Lennon once said, but Ships with an HE! Oh my god, it's gorgeous!
So rough. Previous round comes down to the 2v2 post plant, certainly winnable for Voyvoda. This one, great attempt from Dreamer in the 1v2. I love how he drops down the balcony and still wins that gunfight with Patrick. That was so impressive. But loses out the 1v1 as he falls to the HE grenade. Look at this kill here onto Patrick. Should never have been able to get that.
Yeah, things
Dips has been untouchable as well.
Yeah,
13 and 2. Jesus.
He's just vibing. I don't like that term, but it's become a part of my vocabulary. Is Oxygen can't say a thing. The man is 0 in 12. 0 in 12. I thought we had enough of that. over on Ancient, our first map of the day, but
A la
no.
Strunk.
Shout out to Scrunk still making an appearance. Oh dearie me, Poison. Looks like he's drank some. He's 1 in 11, man. It's just disappointing through and through.
1 kill between 2 players in 11 rounds of Counter-Strike played.
It hurts. I don't like watching this. I want competitiveness.
And it's Voyvoda's map pick. It's their stronghold of Inferno.
It makes me so sad.
But I mean,
just
to be
highlights
fair,
the importance
that's
of
with
Red Star.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
wild.
also, you know, Poison with the AWP not having any impact. It's rough. Big execute coming through to the B bomb side right now. Let's see if they can make something happen here, Sneaky.
Well, Util rains on in, smokes into Coffin and CT. Ships is a bit of a one-way to work with, but Sleepy doesn't give a damn. Ships' head taken off. A messy spray as Nicky tries to reply with one. It is just predominantly pistols here. Rifles have been picked up en route by Voyvoda. They have themselves a convincing post-plant, but there's still a lot of util here for the CTs on the retake. 500 could still give this one a crack. It could still work on out. If they made the 2v2 look that easy, they certainly can make a 4v5 with advantageous weaponry do the same. Sleepy burns alive, down to 16 as Patrick finds the first. Nicky, though, has his head spun by Poison. Dreamer catches Rainmaker, leaving Denny in a 1v3. And I think at long last, it will be the first on the board for Voyvoda, as Sleepy does a lot with a MAC-10 in that round.
And with very little health, by the way. I have no idea how he has so much impact because he was forced out into the open by the molly. They would have heard the ticks. That was a half buy, or was it a full investment? I don't even know from Voyvoda. But still, a great round won by them. And Sleepy goes above and beyond his Call of Duty in that round, as well as Stand-In doing a phenomenal job. Okay, they get themselves around on the board here, do Voyvoda. Half isn't finished yet. They can still muster up 4. Maybe breathe some life back into their campaign, Sneaky.
They could do the cheeky, funny caster thing of Zonic's law.
Oh, yeah?
It's still
Never
a
heard of
possibility.
it. What is this law you're talking about? Who's Zonic?
Oh,
what's a Zonic?
He's a vitality coach now, apparently, but former member of Astralis.
Some sort of healthcare vitality?
Yeah. It is in the UK, at least. But Oxygen, hopefully he paid for health insurance because it's going to take a hell of a surgery to get that 50 cal unlodged from the back of his cranium. He sits 0 in 13. And gas and oxygen is expensive these days. He's in short supply. A ship supplies an unfortunate early demise. And that could be the B-bomb site lost again off the back of Ships' impatience and perhaps overconfidence.
Nicky decides to try and get ahead of the molly so he can at least maintain control of the back of Church. Looking at the money for the CT side, they'll definitely go for this because they know they can afford another buy in the next round. 4 versus 4 post-plant proved to be successful for Voyvoda in the previous round. Is that going to be the case here once again? Util reigning in. There's still a plethora left remaining here for 500 as well as they begin to close the gap. Nicky gets the first kill to set them in motion as they start to make their way forward. Bubble wants to force the issue, but oh my god, that snapshot adjustment there from Patrick. Dreamer left alone, but he'll go down to Rainmaker. And it will be 500 to make the retake work this time.
Yeah, that was super clean. 3 left alive. As you said, they had the money regardless to reinvest, but now their bank balances are booming. 12 times around of their opposition. The back of a 16-14, 16-14, incredibly tight series to Cloud9. I've had a member of chat asked us to chill as Voyvoda is still hurting from that Cloud9 loss. And I'll give it to him. That is a sore one. Almost beating out a high tier 1 team, making it to Blast Premier.
Yeah.
Huge achievement, but unfortunately they were pipped at the post. And they didn't actually make it anywhere near the post in this one, as 500 lead 12-1.
Thing is, there were massive underdogs in that matchup as well. I mean, imagine Cloud9 hadn't qualified going into that event. So I get that they're hurting, but you know, the fact that they made it so close is what matters. That's what should get them excited. Anyway, a number of players towards the top of Banana right now for Voyvoda. I don't think the setup's going to work for 500. Nicky goes down first. Poison finds the responding Denny's low. Ships is there. Not spotted. Not like this. Nicky goes back. His spidey senses tingle. And it is a guaranteed second coming through for Voyvoda. Okay, everything falls into place.
That was almost perfect from Ships. If he hadn't have been cleared there, absolutely the round for 500. With all that said and done,
Yeah.
very nice entry from Sleepy as well.
I think Sleepy saw him, and then, like, his brain was just delayed, and he was like, wait, I actually spotted a guy behind sandbags.
Yeah, I think on the jump across, he realised, didn't he? There's now a 10-round lead, still very, very solid. If you want a solid chance of winning up to $400 worth of CSGO skins, check out our partners over at Hellcase. Link down below in our stream description. Terms and conditions apply. As Denny Slow applies himself to the middle, misses the opening shot and does fall back towards A. Now Voyvoda, very little success towards A, but have at least made things sting on B a couple of occasions. Nicky looks to deny that further as Bubble dies again. And
No.
Poison, that's a nice trade, doubles up, and that's the Poison I wanted to see.
Well, Voyvoda have kind of given the game up here a little bit, at least in terms of the past few rounds, just by getting overly aggressive unnecessarily. It's happened now with Ships a few times where he's looked to just, because they're dominating the game as much as they are, he's just been able to, I guess, play with more freedom. But it has been costly in a few of these situations. Sleepy takes a bit of unnecessary damage from the utility. Interesting smoke deployed there by Rainwake. Not sure if that was intentional or not. In the meantime, Denny's Law will level out the numbers game. Look at this huge flank coming through from Oxygen. He's got 1 kill so far, going to be able to double up his numbers, and now there's no way for 500 to win the round from here.
Yeah, he just plays time, but they have to go for it. It's the final round of the half. Sleepy doesn't give a damn, neither does Dreamer. Sleepy and Dreamer. It's a match made in heaven with those two player names. But regardless, a 12-3 half. They outdo Zonix Law. They go one better. 500 have looked absolutely pristine so far, outside of a couple of messy B retakes and a few overextensions in those from Ships. But yes, this should still be a fairly convincing win for 500 off the back of this insanity. Don't want to completely rule out Voyvoda just yet. If they win the pistol, they're in with a chance of a bit of a comeback snaking. Otherwise, I'm fairly convinced in 500's performance so far.
Ships and Denny's Law, what a way for them to open up the pistol round. Both teams just locking horns in towards middle. There's still more where that came from the CC side. It's all on Dreamer, but there's way too much work to be done. Nicky with 2 phenomenal opening kills in the pistol round. Well, I blinked and I missed half of it, Sneaky.
Yep, that was one of the fastest pistol rounds I have seen in recent times. 500 are on 13. Voyvoda do not get their comfort of a second pistol round win. And Inferno, despite being the pick of Voyvoda, has looked rather obsolete. Looking at nuke statistics, played 13 times by 500, a 39% win rate. Played 11 times by Voyvoda with a 55% win rate, winning on 6 of those occasions. I hate to already be talking about the second map of the series whilst the first is still being played on out. But a 10-round lead at 13-3 is near irredeemable.
Yeah, it should be. It should absolutely be. The only reason I guess we can't say is because of what recently happened between Vitality and FaZe.
Or Vitality and Liquid, for that matter.
Yeah, true. Common denominator being Vitality. This time, though, they were on the dishing out end of the damage. They were down 14-1 on Anubis, went into the T side, and won the map in overtime. So,
as you do. Just another day at the
Yeah.
office, you know? And
on LAN as well.
It appears a French Vitality is the best Vitality. Jack's having a storm out there.
Yeah, love it. Love Jax. Huge Jax
Who's
fan.
he standing in for right now?
Dupree, because Dupree has had the birth of his child.
Dad. Yeah, congrats to Dupree. Fun stuff over in that neck of the woods. As soon as he's replaced, the team immediately performs better. I'm not going to read into that any further.
Yeah, imagine losing your job because, you took leaves for the birth of your child.
Ooh, that's rough. I mean, there's some employment
Could you even
laws
blame
around
Vitality?
that.
I mean, like, they would, yeah, but I mean, if they benched him, right?
Yeah.
Like, not like he loses his job entirely, but I'm just saying, it's a super cutthroat industry and it's about results. And
Yeah,
if
to be
Jax
fair,
is proven to be a much better fit, then surely you have to think about it.
being on the bench on like a very wealthy tier 1 team, whilst it must be a little bit depressing, it must also be nice to get paid for playing a couple of Face It pugs and showing up to prac every few days. Because
just after your kid's been born as well, spend more time with them.
They pay a lot of money, like.
Yeah.
I think it was something ridiculous. Kenny S was only paid 10% of his active contract whilst on the bench at G2, but then I read into how much he was actually being paid in the first place. I wouldn't mind it, you know. I wouldn't mind it for doing just streaming and still earning on top. Regardless.
Well, Voyvoda,
yeah,
they're looking to
Voyvoda
earn a
need to
fourth
earn a
round
round.
here. Exactly. And it is going to be Oxygen sort of using that corpse as cover.
Oh no!
There's
Oh,
absolutely
Oxygen!
no way Rainmaker wins that gunfight. Are you kidding? 1 point of health left remaining. Sleepy's over towards B all by himself. What utility does he have? Only a flash? No ways. Boost up on top of Oranges right now. How does he get more than a single kill from this position? First victim is Chips, but he'll be chased down, hunted down. 2 versus 2 ensues.
Wow, that was a bit depressing, if I'm honest with you. I thought Oxygen had that one on lockdown. Could still be a lockdown round for Voyvoda here. Bubble and Dreamer, they got one flash to push them through that smoke. But a Molotov deployed late by 500 could be all she wrote. That'll deny for another 5 or so seconds as Bubble round the corner gets his cranium rounded. Nicky, the spray control, fantastic. At 500, they lead 15-3. Could we have 2 16-3 starts to our series, Hayes?
It looks like we will have back-to-back 16-3s. What a one-sided day of Counter-Strike today. I mean, obviously, the only outlier would be the 16-14 we had on Inferno between Saw and Sangal. Outside of that, I mean, this is the 4th game of the day. It's the 8th map. The other, 5 maps that were played outside of this one were all single-digit losses. So this is going to be the 6th of the day out of 7 maps.
That's ridiculous. That's honestly insane.
Never seen that in CCT
ever had
before.
that at CCT. And also, this is the playoffs. This is the playoffs, as Oxygen finally realises there's such a bullet in the skull of Patrick going 15-9 quite comfortably. They reigns through. Poison's in a bit of bother here, as all of Voyvoda are also in severe bother, as another understatement, as they are 1 round away from losing their map pick.
And not just losing their map pick, but being absolutely devastated on their map pick.
Yeah.
A map that is
rough.
your crown jewel.
Ooh, hello. Speaking of crown jewels, a Titan Hollow on the grip of a AK-47. That's a few $1,000s of value. Sorry, I get distracted by shiny things, but this has by no means been a shining performance from Voyvoda. Rainmaker doesn't actually see poison there. I'm surprised. As Dreamer catches Denny, this should be a Voyvoda round.
Yeah, no way back into this for 500. Although Dreamer, what are they doing? They're giving Sips away back into the round. They just offered him up 1 versus 1s. Gets all the kills. He's going to plant the bomb. This is the problem. If Bubble gets the kill, well, it still has to be a 10-second defuse. Rainmaker's flying up middle, but he's not even required.
What? Are you kidding me? No way. No way did we just finish.
Did we get a replay of that?
It was a 4v2.
But look, they pushed into him, Sneaky.
No way.
They knew he was there.
No.
I think they bait with the footsteps because I think Rainmaker runs out of apartments. That's why they push through. Then Poison's out in the open. The 3rd player on the site is low. Sneaky he can't contain himself.
Oh, geez.
That's another 16-3.
I can't believe it in a fashion like that. Oh, gee, Rick. I can't believe it, Hayes. We're back here again. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Anyway.
Yeah, when Sneaky brings out the South African accent, that's when you know it's just chaos.
It is absolute
We've lost all control.
Bro. We've lost it. Yeah, cheers to that.
Okay, well, on that note, cheers to that. Use this opportunity to replenish your snacks, your beverages. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, hopefully not going to be the last map of the day, but it might be. So don't go too far. It's Nuke up next.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One XBet.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the wonderful CCT North Europe Series 4. My name is Sneaky. I'm again joined by Hayes, and we will be going through what has been a very, very dominant day of Counter-Strike. We're in the finale. We're in 500 versus Voyvoda. 500 just 16-3'd Voyvoda on their own map pick, and I've heard rumors swirling that maybe Red Star might be back for this finale. I'm not entirely sure if those rumors are true, Hayes, but regardless, honestly, for their sake, I hope that they are. And in the grand scheme of things, I hope we get this underway soon. The next map will be Nuke. It's a decent map for both teams, but I was honestly a little surprised that this was 500's pick.
Where have you heard these rumblings and these whispers?
I've heard whispers of Red Star returning. I have a feeling it is just HLTV nonsense. I saw in the comments.
Because looking on the server, you can see on HLTV on the scoreboard, Sleepy's still in the server, and Red Star.
In that case, ignore those rumors. It will still be Sleepy, and well, hopefully he is not as tired as he was in the start of the previous map, and quite honestly, the finish too.
Well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't even Sleepy who was the worst in the fragging department, right? Oxygen only got 3 kills in the map, 7 for Poison, 6 for Bubble. And Bubble got 4 kills in the first, like, 3 rounds as well.
2 of them in the pistol, I think.
No, that is just almost unforgivable.
Yeah.
And the way that they lost the last round of the map as well, 4 versus 2 up, all their players on the A bomb site, they decide to start pushing through apartments.
Why?
They give up ships. He just farmed them. He got 4 kills.
3
So that's
Inferno.
Inferno. That's the most one-sided loss Voyvoda have suffered on the map.
Nice. That's, well, not nice, obviously. And again, they are using 2 stand-ins, but even with 2 stand-ins, at that level, at that caliber, you'd expect, like, 6 rounds. Like a minimum benchmark of 6, especially when you're the ones picking into it. I mean, looking at our next map of Nuke, I have heard we are having a quick server change, so we might be taking a little bit longer than expected. But what are your thoughts for Nuke here for, let's say, Voyvoda, who are in theory the favourites to win out this map going off of stats?
Well, my problem for Voyvoda is Nuke's not the problem. In fact, like you suggested, Nuke is a comfortable map for them. They beat Aurora 16-11, and Aurora are great on the map. So my problem for Voyvoda is just how they looked in the previous map. They just looked like a shadow of themselves, to put it lightly. Individuals not at all able to stand up to the task. And at the end there, 500 are even playing with them. It's not even like they were trying to play proper, clean cut, clinical Counter-Strike, right? So if 500 do play their best game on a good map like Nuke, I just don't really see this Voyvoda or the Voyvoda we have tonight able to go toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have an off day, and I feel like this is one of those days.
I completely agree. Red Star, the lack of him has clearly been impacting them heavily. Again, without an entry fragger, without one of the best entry fraggers in the Tier 2 scene, they were hit hard. They couldn't enter those sites. And once they finally got a handle on things, it was already far too late. And then they let all their advantages slip through their fingers regardless. I mean, going down the scale to Nuke here, it's another great map for Ships. Although I did want to call out Ships for making a lot of mistakes in the B bomb site defense in that previous series. He was very over-aggressive and overconfident for a lot of those plays, pushing smokes he definitely shouldn't have, and very rarely waiting for his teammates to arrive in order to offer him some support. I think he's the reason they lost 2 of those rounds, not single-handedly, but a worrying factor. So he needs to ensure he calms down a minute and just plays a little bit more for the team rather than for a hero play if he's especially anchoring a bomb site. But yeah, outside of that,
is that
again great
that Ships you're talking about? Yeah,
that's Ships.
That's a tendency of his, right? And it comes with the territory, it comes with the nature of who he is as an individual, who he is as a player. You're going to get that out of him, and you'll never work that out of who he is as a player, because it's what makes him so good. It's what makes him that's why he has that X factor, right? And if you try and eliminate that side of his game, it's going to affect that freedom, that side where he just plays with initiative and intuition. So it's one of those things you just take on board when you have a player like Ships in your team and you look at the positives instead of the negatives. But you're right, it can cost the team. You know, I've been critical of that at times. When it doesn't work out, they often end up in 4 versus 5s, and it can be difficult for the team to recover from that, right?
Yeah, certainly so. But whilst the teams are recovering the server, I believe we are going to throw it to a very short break. And on that one, we'll be right back in just a couple of moments. So see you for the action when it unfurls on Nuke. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Voyvoda versus 500. We here on Nuke, me and Hayes are no longer friends, but regardless,
Oh,
we will,
baby.
we will be bringing you the remainder of this series. Now, Voyvoda, they lost 16-3 on their own map pick. That was a one-off, I'm going to say. They are still playing with stand-ins, and Chips doesn't give a damn if you're a stand-in or not. He's going to rip you to shreds with a PT-50
No,
regardless, but Dreamer fires on back as Denny messes up his jump.
Yeah, he should have just crossed cleanly like his teammate. And it's actually a flurry of frags coming through for the CT side. Finally, a kill back in response for Rainwaker. He's got the bomb as well, but Sleepy's already in position over towards this B-bomb site here on the rafters. Oh, Dreamer goes down in the vents. You've got Patrick. He's towards ramp right now. Oxygen's gone down the vents as well. Rainwaker's holding the angle. No reason to shift off of it. We shift off of Rainwaker. Oxygen gets the kill, and then exactly where Patrick is as well. Desperately trying to get the frag here on Sleepy before Oxygen appears, but he realizes that's not an option, so he's going to try attempt from a different point of entry.
Another angle of attack, it seems, as he waltzes his way through the lobby. Is he going to go down vents like a silly goose? Oh no, you know what? He's actually not being held from this angle, which is surprising, as that is where the bomb is. He is now being held from that angle, but don't give a damn, as Oxygen is decapitated in his midst, and now knowing that the A-bomb site is free, he darts it back up the vents, but Sleepy's in hot pursuit.
Running.
He's going to hear Sleepy, surely. Oh no! Oh, he messes up the plant. That fumble could cost him his life. But just in the nick of time, falls back into hut. I think this has been heard by Sleepy, at least him coming off the bomb was. Sleepy. That's no kit. Patrick. Oh, this is perfect. This is the perfect play. Oh, Patrick, that's gorgeous at 500. They're straight back into winning ways.
That's so devastating for Voyvoda. I genuinely feel bad for them right now. I'm not just saying that for effect. Based on what happened on Inferno, they get themselves up into a 2 versus 4 here on the CT side of Nuke. They even drop the bomb. They have everything in their favor, but they still go on to drop the round. Look at that kill there from Patrick running up as the bomb, but then just plays the situation with 200 IQ. Love that position up on the platform. Heartbreaking for Voyvoda.
More IQ than us combined, Taze. That was crazy.
Oh, mate, talk about yourself. Don't
Fine,
put me in there.
You're 150, I'm 49. As Patrick
Okay,
makes a nice opener onto Sleepy. Poison the trade is gorgeous on the scout. Bomb is dropped at least temporarily. Will be retrieved by Patrick, but can he retrieve the frags? Poison always been nifty on the secondary sniper ships though. What is going on here? This is an absolute mess.
No one has ammo.
Everyone ran out of ammo, spraying at each other through the smoke. Somehow the bullets don't land, and still 500 come out on top as Dreamer and Poison are forced away.
Is that what we call a Bulgarian standoff, maybe?
Well, you just keep missing all your bullets, whip out the pistols, and then still miss all your bullets? I think that's a bit unfair to call that
you've got the Mexican standoff. Yeah, I know, that's fair. I mean, it is going to be a killer comes through for Denny. SMGs reign supreme against the Force Spy. Only Dreamer will be able to save his gun here. And that's assuming Denny doesn't find him, which he certainly shouldn't. Not at this range, not against the Scout. Denny senses it, he knows it. He's not even going to risk it. Wise.
Yeah, nicely done. Also, Patrick has been a very damn good player this entire series.
Yeah.
Thank you, production, for highlighting the Bulgarian standoff again. That's what we needed to see. The hard-hitting frags of the round. It's 500. I mean, they've been very hard-hitting throughout this entire series. A 16-3 no slouch, 2 rounds up on the T side of Nuke. This is a very CT-sided map, but they were up against, I believe it was Aurora. 500 went down 14-1 on their CT side here, and they're looking to recover mentally from that instance. Happening not too long ago at all, before their series with Sprout. They've clearly done their homework, and they're looking to punish Voyvoda where they stand.
You were talking about Patrick. He actually has a 0.93 rating in the past 3 months. The tie for the lowest rating with Nikki. Obviously, the ships, Denny's Law, Rainmaker trio, they're the guys who do most of the heavy lifting. But something I've often said for 500, because I've cast quite a lot of their games in recent time, is Patrick is the guy, if he's fragging out, 500 are winning. because
Yeah.
they've got that extra man all of a sudden. And you really saw that in a big way in the previous map.
Patrick was on fire. I think 12-0 or 10-0 at one point. As I
Finished
said,
map
he's the
15-9. Oh, Nikki, you
Bulgarian
even jump
just.
spotted.
Nice kill from Oxygen there. He's at least getting something done as the pistols create a little bit of pandemonium. Sleepy, not allowed an
Nice.
AK save. Great stuff from Patrick. Will go down to the nuke bomb radius. Not something I say very often. But in this 2v2, 500 again
That's
come out on
ironic.
top.
Never thought about that. You got the bomb explosion range on Inferno and Ancient, just absolutely massive. Ancient, you're not even like on the B bomb side. What are you even bombing? It's a pillar. It's not even like there's explosives there. On Nuke, it's like some of the smallest bomb explosion ranges that we got on. It's a nuclear power plant. Sneaky, make it make sense.
Doesn't make sense. I guess that's just good old, originally German, now American engineering. You know, very good safety protocols. The safety rods have been put in as soon as the alarm is sounded, preventing a full-on explosion.
Explosion in towards the A bomb site coming through here. Patrick will go down to bubble. Nice spray through the smoke. Next plan is for ships to drop down the vent, which he successfully made his way down. Bomb in towards the B site. No response from Voyvoda just yet. So the C4 should actually be activated without contest.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sleepy, get a move on, man. Still watching the ramp. Could have potentially denied that plant. Waits for his teammates to rotate in with him. Poison's on an AWP now, and Sleepy's found another great frag. That makes things complicated. Bubble another, and Voyvoda. Could this be an early round on the board? In the opening gun round, perhaps, but they're still wasting so much time. They just got to put bodies on the site here, as Rainmaker has indeed been spotted.
He needs to push. He can't afford to sit back and wait. Denny takes a lot of damage, gets the kill, traded up by Oxygen. Now it's all on Rainmaker. Then and he's just pulled the plug in the round. He's going to call it a day. Okay, so 2 kills. No, actually just the 1 kill for 500. Sleepy stays alive. Wow, that comes so close with the defuse there, just in time. Did seem like Sleepy had fallen asleep at the wheel, but the fact that he got that kill on ships was everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely so. The ship spots us into a wall, it seems, in the opening duel. Denny Slaw, as try as he might, will not be able to best 2 players, charging him down from Secret. And now as that timer ticks on down 500, they do still have the lead. They do have another gun round here, but Voyvoda have at least made themselves competitive early doors. I hope I do not live to regret my words nor bite my tongue, as we have another opportunity for Voyvoda here. A very strong buy, and Poison's back on the orb.
Underwhelming on the first map, as was the case of all the players, I suppose you could say, for the side of Voyvoda, but I'm looking forward to Poison's AWP here on the CT side of Nuke. You think about complexity, this was a really good map for them, actually.
I believe they 16-1 DG on it all that time ago. That was like the good EG as well. God, it feels weird to say good EG. It feels like I'm muttering a curse as Nicky cursed outside, called off by Dreamer and Voyvoda. They found a little bit of rhythm here.
Yeah, just able to deal with sort of everything 500 have thrown at them in the round so far. There was the push that came through from out early on in the round that didn't catch them off guard. Kill towards outside, looking good. Don't need to offer up anything here in the 5 versus 2. Rainmaker edging his way towards the bomb site, but there's essentially 3 players here. Deals with the first, doesn't expect that re-peak to come through from Oxygen. Denny on the angle, going to be favored here, but can't make the gunfight work. Voyvoda string 2 consecutive rounds together, and they start to actually show some signs of life here in the series.
Yeah, Voyvoda have found 2 of the 3 rounds they found in the previous map of their own map pick. They will be looking to improve upon that tally, as they have looked actually quite strong in these gun rounds. It is the CT side of Nuke. It is the easier of the 2 sides. It is still our second now most CT sided map in the pool, now that Ancient's been knocked down a couple of pegs. But yeah, 500 is starting to falter here. Big nade onto ships. That's a rifle removed, as Dreamer looks to do further damage outside. Won't be afforded an early fight. Instead, 500 stack up towards the ramp. They're going to execute off the back of this, though. I mean, they've got the weapons for speed. Do they have the right ones to find the frags?
Does look like they're going to make their way towards ramp. Sleepy's here. He's got some support coming through from Poison, who's just arrived on the scene with the AWP angle under lock and chain. They're flashed, it forces him back. Molly comes and means 500 can't even have a gander. Doors being closed in on them as well. As Dreamer completes a massive flank. Don't think this is being considered at all by the T side right now as things stand. Util still being set up now. They're going to be focused on the AWP right now. Sleepy gets a frag as well. Dreamer should be able to pretty much lock this one in, and he will be rewarded for his patience as Voyvoda level up the scoreline with ease at that.
That is the first time we've been able to say that this series, and almost today. We had one equalised instance, I believe, over on Inferno. But not this Inferno. The previous one, between the likes of Saw and Sangal, almost feels strange to say we have an equalised scoreline here after what we've been through today. It has just been a one-sided Emporium. 500 are looking to do something cheeky with the Deagles, but it's highly unlikely anything will come of it. Anything more than maybe a frag or two. Rainwaker looking ready and waiting for Bubble. The Sleepy lobs a nade down into a brutal fashion. Dreamer gets a kill, and Sleepy just needs to stat pad, but Ships will shut them down.
I actually thought he had repositioned really well there throughout that round, but eventually still goes down. I don't think the plant will come through. Bubble on point to try to stop that, and actually Ship swings. This is a hard eco coming through for 500 right now. 3 versus 3 bomb plant found. Look at Rainwaker's position. He's the one who needs time right now. He desperately needs Ships to stay alive for as long as he possibly can. Looking to reposition, steps up, great kill on Oxygen. Now he tucks himself into the corner, completely blinded up by the flashbang. Where's Rainwaker? He needs to come into effect. He won't, and now he's going to have to clutch. The bomb is planted for him. He's got Kevlar as well. He could maybe make something of this.
They missed up the smoke.
They have, but the shots won't be missed.
Ooh, that was very, very close. Big damage dealt by 500. Honestly, more success in that round than they found in most of their gun rounds so far. But Voyvoda, the economy, massively built on up now. Almost $16,000 on one of those players. 500 are just not quite able to close things out here. Ships, again, a valiant effort, but just in the 2v1 with, again, no support. Overwhelmed. Voyvoda take the lead for the first time this series.
It's going to take a lot of mental fortitude for them to fight back after what happened on Inferno. They just didn't pitch up at all on a very comfortable map. But these guys are incredibly experienced, at least the trio of Bubble, Poison, and Dreamer. These guys have been around the block. They've got the t-shirt. They've got the whole wardrobe, actually, Sneaky.
I've got a few jerseys in my wardrobe. I'd love to have one of these guys as well. As you said, they've done the tours, certainly of the Bulgarian scene. We got Skade, Fate, various other Bulgarian all shoved in there. Mixed teams, fun teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, speaking about the Bulgarian scene, Katuna announced that they'd actually effectively disbanded. That was the Shake, Milky, Spellin team. Either way, maybe more on that a bit later, because Rainwaker has found the opening kill here in the round.
Yeah, it's the first entry they found on their T side in a while from memory. Bubble will be on the receiving end. Oxygen going positive for a change. Has found full lobby control, though. Dennis Law. Oh, he's having his toes looked at. For free? Really? Oh, it's Dreamer. Doubles on up. Oxygen instantaneously decapitated. Great fragging from Rainwaker there. But Poison's got his number. He's doing the same thing. Pushing through Screaky. They've got no flashes. Only flashes on Patrick, who's just taken full ramp control, but shot baited out from Poison. Great kill from Rainwaker. And Patrick, my goodness, that was clean, leaving Sleepy in a 1v3. How the hell has this one gone so awry? Can he deny the bomb being taken to the site?
No.
Almost as he surges through that fire, but Patrick goes down here. Bomb could still be denied, but Denny Slaw ensures that will not be the case. And we're back to an equalised scoreline as an AWP is picked on up.
Massive round for 500 to win, right? What's that?
It's 0 and 8 for Nicky right now, though. 500 are putting him on their shoulders, but that was a very massive round, as he said. And a fairly clean one come the end of it at that.
Yeah. There was a huge amount of money in play for Voyvoda, even coming into this round. Dreamers on 7,400. Outside of that, though, not really much to get excited about for the players on the CT side.
So there. financially not doing amazingly. Dreamer can drop 3 teammates if he has to, but it's not the best for his own personal economy, and it's certainly not sustainable. As Voyvoda, hold on, they've got a man playing up to the red box. Dreamer sits there patiently. I think he's tucked into Glaive. Effectively so, as all of 500 waltz their way back towards T-spawn to throw outside util. This could be the perfect position for Dreamer. Poison's here to support. Dreamer gets a freebie onto Patrick. He's too preoccupied, but it is 1-for-1. Not as effective as I'm sure he would have liked.
Good kill from Rainmaker. That nets them the man advantage. Poison lurking towards outside. That's a really bad miss shot coming through from him, but is able to make up for it. Would have cost him his life if he hadn't. Rainmaker continues to do work though, Sneaky. That's a huge second kill coming through from him in the round. Poison evades the shot, lines up, and will connect onto Denny. 2v2. Trade train in full effect.
Yeah,
and
a bit
Sleepy
too
extends
predictable.
one step.
Bit too predictable from Denny there as he wide swings the other side of the box. Poison just holds for it. As you said, wins the back at 2v2 and Sleepy follows up. Nicky, though, I do like this. I like this a lot from Nicky. Sees the head, has the information. He's going to isolate this to a 1v1 duel as Sleepy still not watching for it. Poison fires off a shot. Nicky's got all the information now. And with bomb planted for double doors, they've got no idea. Molotov, 2 flashbangs, finds the first, lines him up, knocks him down, and plays with Sleepy. Comes into the vents, and
yeah,
he's one on time.
Exactly that. He even wants to go back to the kill here to make sure Sleepy can't save the AWP. And Nicky had no kills coming into the round. As soon as his team desperately need him to stand up, he's able to clutch 1 versus 2. That's what you need out of your captain.
Yeah, super clean, through and through. That is exactly what they needed from Nicky, who was going 0 in 8 up to that point, proving he can still be a formidable tool for the team as Voyvoda call themselves another tactical timeout as they let the lead slip back into 500's hands. Already 5 on the T side, and Nuke is a pretty good number. 500, they want to take that significantly further.
Yes. They know that the spirits of Voyvoda are going to be low after what happened on Inferno. They want to try and get as much of the work done here on the unfavorable half as they possibly can.
Yeah, the more rounds you get above 6 on the T side, the significantly stronger your chances of closing the map. As you said, alleviates a lot of the pressure, a lot of the harder work that you have to do. As this is still, in its core nature, a very defensive-heavy map. Now look at this, though. Will they be able to defend against the speed of this onslaught? Bubble already removed. Poison good to find a frag of ships. How is ships in the backlines already? That undetected. Sleepy jumps up into the heavens, bags himself an AWP for his troubles. Nade almost sends it flying, but he's sent flying backwards as 500 have just found a sick.
Love that change up of pace coming through from 500 as well. Very aggressive in towards the A-bomb site. Great util usage, great pathing. Everybody knew exactly what was required of them in terms of what section they're clearing when they push into the bomb site. They're going to be hunting here for Dreamer in the garage right now. Oh, does he go for the kills is the question. He gets the low HP player. That's actually the worst case scenario for him. He'll go down. Sleepy should save the AWP without much of an issue. I mean, I don't think there's enough time here for them to rush him down and get the kill. Flashes chained coming through. Shot.
Oh no!
It's a leg shot. Sleepy dies. Disaster.
That's a huge loss. That's the AWP loss and the M4. And as much as the own economy of 500 is damaged in the process, they lose 2 players towards outside. That's going to be on the back of their minds as they can fully afford a reinvestment. They're not going to afford an AWP in this one, but they don't need one because that fast play was so successful. They can just rinse and repeat against the pistols. Surely they should know the state of Voyvoda's economy right now. Just keep it ranged, keep it clean, and stay grouped. And you should stand no problem at all. A cheeky boost towards A as Dreamer looks to boost his stats. Oh, Dream has a 3 KD despite being in a 4-6 deficit.
that's
Almost
insane.
kills Denny Slaw as well. Very impressive, but unfortunately not quite enough as the lobby crunch inevitably comes on through. Rainwaker, will he get his jaw spun? Will he anticipate this? Finds a first, finds a second. Easy pickings for 500 as Poison does get an AK for his troubles, but it's a 4v2. And 500 should have found their 7th.
Rainwaker robbed. He deserved that third kill there. Chips and Denny are low though. Bubble looking for a timer as he is outside. Shots onto Patrick. Not going to be enough to get the kill. More damage done. Poison not going to be considering the round at all. I mean, he's got the AK. He's going to want to save that AK. Everybody loves themselves an AK on the CT side.
Yeah, it's free real estate. Significantly improves your chances of winning a round as Denny Slaw will not have said AK come the next. But Patrick don't give a damn. Swings outside 11 in 6 as 500 find their 7th on the T side of Nuke. Already a roaring victory on their offensive side.
Yeah. And what makes it so impressive is actually it was looking at a touch and go when they went down 4-3. And then they won an impressive round and they rushed A. And they've just been in full control since then. Now, it's Voyvoda who have to answer back down 4-7 on their CT side.
Yeah, realistically, they need to win the next 4 rounds, Hayes, because it should be a minimum of 8-7 on your CT half. Preferably a 9-6 with, again, how favoured it is. They do find Chips early doors on this one. Not been as prolific in the fragging department as he was in the previous map. To be fair, it's unfair to single him out, as Nicky still only is 2 in 9, despite his frags being intensely impactful. Voyvoda. They've slowed the pace with that single opener. They've scared 500 a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
Poison has a nice angle until he doesn't.
I like that. Yeah, works out for you until it doesn't in life. That's some good advice right there. Does look like 500 are going to have to just fall back onto plan B here, though. Feigning a bit of presence in towards that A bomb site, but still making their way outside. Poison spots him on the cross. That's a really impressive shot on the single scope. The bomb's been dropped as well. Gonna have to go back to recover that. They underarm the smoke. It's actually... They can pick it up. Wait, whoa, like that shot just narrowly misses out there. 5v3, Voyvoda looking good.
Oh, and Dreamer anticipates the play from Denny. Avoids the flash, but Denny doesn't give a damn. In the jaw of Dreamer, but Oxygen on top of the hut ensures there's no more ace side and 6 instead. They delve down to the depths of B. 20 seconds remain, though. This play's been read into, surely. Sleepy on the rafters finds 1 for free. Nicky unable to spin in time. And with that, Voyvoda do find 5. Not quite broken the economy of 500 just yet, but they do at least break their streak.
Problem for Voyvoda is that they are still incredibly frail economically speaking coming into this next round. So if they lose here, it's going to be 8-5, no money, probably 9-5. So they're still on the brink.
Oh,
both teams come into this round with no money in their bank.
Yeah, one has significantly better buy. A lot more util on the CT side. Everyone's got their fully upgraded rifle. Nicky's already down to just a single smoke with his Galil as Sleepy.
That's nice.
To get away from ramp in the nick of time. Good delaying util. Nice glass break as well. They don't know exactly where he is. The messy spray onto ships, though, as Patrick capitalised on its laboured nature. Rainmaker, though. Hold on a minute. Where's Rainmaker coming from? He slept through the squeaky smoke. Has he just walked past... Has he just walked past Rainmaker?
I don't think they walked past... I don't think they walked past each other, no. I think it was just on the opposite side of the door, and then he went down the vent to Dreamer. 4 versus 4. Retake underway. Great kill out of Patrick. That might even thought the retake entirely. They've got kits, they've got utility, but like I said at the start of the round, there's no money coming into this one for the CT side. And they're going to just tip their hats and call it a day. 8-5, 500 have locked in the half win at the bare minimum. And that was such an easy round for them to win as well, Sneaky.
Yeah.
Just force the ramp player back, chase him down, trade him out, job done.
That's a stellar T-side performance. 8 on a T-side. Massive win already. Things continue to look dangerous for the likes of Voyvoda. They need 7. 7 is a necessity here. As much as 500 do not have the strongest CT side, it is certainly strong enough with a winning half. Dips will be reinvesting along with the rest of his squaddies as Voyvoda. They invest everything they've got straight back into this one. It is another full bite. 500 can't afford to rest on their laurels. They lose this one, things get a bit complicated towards the end of the half, but excuse me, with 2 rounds remaining, Voyvoda just want to ensure it's not double digits for their opposition.
Yeah, it's damage control at this point. You're absolutely right. It's not even about trying to make a decent half of it from this point here for the CT side. Bit of damage done on the cross to the few players who have made their way down, but Bubble will fall into Rainwaker's grasp. It's Sleepy who responds. In towards control room he goes. Rainwaker's got him though. Timing couldn't have been worse. The round's over. That's 9-5. Lock it up, put a chain on it. Ship it off. That's problematic to say the least.
I think we're running out of adjectives for the words problematic and bad. Should we get the thesaurus out?
Troublesome.
Rough, troublesome, sticky situation.
Precarious.
Oh, it gets worse.
Disastrous.
Tempestuous, tumultuous. Yeah. Chuck them all in the boot of the car.
We've also used most of them just because of the games we've had to cast today. And this is going to be 9-5. Oxygen's just hoping to save the AWP. The one concern, the only concern right now, Sneaky.
Oh dear.
Rainwaker, you beast. That's a quad kill for him. How good has he been on this T side, by the way? 16 and 8, a 2-kill death ratio. But the only concern is 500 have a 41.7% win rate on their CT side of Nuke. That's not a good number. 41%. That's not a number you're used to seeing on the CT side.
I can put a bit of context to this. They lost 14-1 on their CT side against Aurora, which absolutely bludgeoned their statistics to death. I think it was like 40.
Because then you win 1 out of 15. That's like like 6% of your rounds. Okay, fair enough. That's a good point.
Brutalized their average, but I do believe that this is a tech pause round. The round is not live. The teams will return to their spawns as we work out a fix for this tech issue. It's a shame it comes in the final round of the half. Does Nicky have the memo? Nicky's out for blood. He wants to improve on that 3-frag tally.
I mean, listen, if your team's winning 9-5 on the T side, I actually don't mind Nicky with that scoreline.
Yeah, that's fair. And again,
when the team's losing, then it's a bit of a problem. Fair enough.
That scoreline is only there because of his 1v2 clutch.
Yeah, and that's where they needed him. So keep in mind, Voyvoda were leading this 4-3 at one point.
Yeah, but the past is in the past, Hayes. Live in the present. 500.
Okay. The point I'm making is what a big turnaround this has been here for 500. It was actually, for the first time, it was a glimpse, but we thought maybe Voyvoda were sort of going to be living up to the expectation we had coming into the series out of them.
I was thinking, honestly, we get the full on in-form Voyvoda lineup. This is a 2-0. If you have Red Star and Han.
Well, Han's not in the mix anymore. He's like formally stepped out of the project.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying if you had that lineup versus 500 right now, it would be a 2-0 going off of this map pool. But yeah, Han's not there, that's fine.
I agree with you. I do. But the past is in the past, Sneaky.
And in the words of the Disney princesses, we gotta let it go.
Which one was that? Oh, Frozen?
That is the one, Hayes.
Okay, there we go. Look at me with my pop culture reference game.
Of all the references I threw out there,
yeah,
I'm glad you at least got that one.
I mean, you spoon-fed that one to me, to be fair.
Oh, dearie me. As we go on a bit of a roller coaster tour of Nuke.
Sharing some ticks in chat.
Imagine how cool, like, a roller coaster around an abandoned power station would be.
I'd rather explore it on foot, I think, because then you can actually check stuff out. On the roller coaster, you kind of just...
Why not both, you know? Up into the ceiling, out through the other side, through the reactor core.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you want to be
I get
fast
you.
going through the reactor. Like, you don't want to stick around there for long. And what better way to do it than on a roller coaster? You're in, you're out in like 3 seconds.
What if you want to become radioactive?
Well, first of all, may I recommend you see a mental health specialist?
Yeah, okay, that's a good start.
Second of all, probably
Is there any
don't.
proof that actually says it's bad?
Jesus Christ, Hayes.
Okay.
We have impressionable viewers here.
Okay, listen, that's a joke for anybody who might not realize that. Just a bit of sarcasm. Suppose it's important to clarify.
No, okay. Since we got a bit of time, I can give you some like fun history facts and stuff. There used to be
All right.
Soviet mining towns so obviously living in the Soviet Union was not great for a lot of people. But if you lived in one of these Soviet mining towns that mined exclusively radioactive materials, they took very good care of you. I think there's one in the mountains of Kazakhstan that is currently poisoning a river because they mined so much like uranium from it that there's just like uranium on the surface just
Love
dripping
that.
into the
Oh,
river.
beautiful. That's great.
Yeah, but no.
What
the town
superpower
is,
does that give you?
Projectile vomit. As
That's the least
poison.
of your worries, I reckon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, speaking of poison is the man to get that first frag. Radiation poisoning. Radiation poisoning. It's
Yeah.
not fun, ladies and gentlemen. I don't recommend it.
Please don't try it at home.
No, definitely don't do that.
Don't
if
go
you're looking for
chasing
a fun
nuclear
story,
reactors.
Google the Nuclear Boy Scout. Great story is poison. Great second frag in the round. We've gotten a little bit off topic here. This is the final round of the first half. This one does actually have a lot of weight on its shoulders.
Ooh.
Ships don't entirely know how he got there, but
Yeah,
regardless,
that's what I'm wondering too.
he's
Some sort of
chilling.
teleporter. I love how we just casually switched to him. Like, I was
It's a
just like,
radioactivity.
this is a
He's
T player's
teleporting.
POV.
Oh, Patrick!
No.
Oh no!
Don't
That's a
knife him.
knife
No,
him.
Pat. Okay.
Oh.
No, thank God. He was just clearing to see if there was another kill up for grabs.
Oh,
Ships his
no.
patience, pays dividends, gets information on one, but both of the players are heading his direction. He'll go down, but he gets the info for his
Good
team.
damage.
Yeah, good damage with that molly as well. 2 versus 2 ensues. Voyvoda trying to deny 500 from getting to double digits.
Bubble in heaven. Sleepy by his side. They creep forward. Hopefully, they're alert enough to realise there's 2 towards the heart. Denny Slaw misses the shot. Not at the best of maps so far. Does he have this lined up? Not yet. Denny Slaw spots Bubble. Knows it was only a tap, not a full stick. Spins the corner. Can he deal with Sleepy? Not quite. Now to Patrick now. Spots the first. Finds him. Bubble gets off the defuse. There is still enough time. Gorgeous stuff from Bubble, and it will be 6 for Voyvoda, but still not a half to be proud of for the CTs.
No, certainly not. 6 rounds. I would say like bedrock, bare minimum that you would even remotely leave the door open for them to maybe make something happen. So many, yes, so much has to go their way here on this T side if this is going to work for them.
Sorry, Poison was a
Good
beast
recovery.
in that last round, though. That
Yeah.
wallbang kill, great game sense. I don't even know if he saw the barrel. He just went for it. He pulled
Instrumental.
a banana half-wall pick.
They need this pistol round.
Yeah, they certainly do. Speaking of instrumental, hopefully those Glocks can sing cleanly for them. Oxygen jumps straight into Ships, but Ships is fully overwhelmed. Nicky, great 2 frags to Vitali, keeps the dream alive for 500 as Patrick, oh no, gets caught falling. Bubble doubles up, Poison doubles up as well. Big round for Voyvoda, they make that look easy. Poison now has 15 kills.
Yeah, great performance coming through from him and Nuke. I did say at the start of the map that in times gone by, he's proven to be an absolute menace on this map. Phenomenal pistol round. Voyvoda just put pedal to the metal, charged their way in towards that A bomb site. There was a bit of resistance there from Nicky getting the 2 kills, but that was pretty much it from 500. Will force up after losing the pistol.
Hold on, Ships isn't the one on the Mag 7, it's Patrick?
This is
No
crazy.
way. I don't
They must be
believe
playing
it.
on each other's computer. That's like the giveaway, right?
Boy, if you ever want to like e-sig ban anyone,
Yeah,
just look at
exactly.
their
It's like, nah.
tendencies.
He's not using the Mag 7.
That can't be Ships. It's not real. It's Patrick all along. Ships. He's not in the best of spots here, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Ace.
Yeah,
Three
Oxygen should trade him.
pushing down here. Nice smoke. Gets onto the bomb site. Or does he? Keeps the doors open, in the words of Bruno Mars. But I feel like his intentions
That one will
aren't quite as
definitely go over my
friendly.
head.
Yeah.
Miss me with the Bruno Mars references, that's for sure.
Back when I used to be a singer, I got the Bruno Mars album and CD for my singing teacher for her birthday, and she made me sing the entire album. It was
I'm really
great.
sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, right now, it's going to be a great opening kill coming through from Poison. Denny can't do anything about it. That should be the round over. Should be locked in. Job done off the back of that opening kill. I don't even know if 500 want to consider going for this, and it doesn't look like they will. Instead, going to just lock in these guns and eco in the next round. Essentially having a force fire at their disposal, but how many of those guns will get carried through is the question.
Oh, they might be able to bag themselves an AK here on the 500 side. No, one more save as Bubble. He's looking to deny Rainwaker, but hold on a minute. That's a bit costly. The Voyvoda economy's starting to sink now. Oxygen and Sleepy head their way towards Secret. Will they be able to deal with the likes of 500 here? They'll certainly give it a go, but instead the save comes through. No more pushes from 500. They cut their losses, or perhaps their wins, you could say. All in all, that's clean. Rainwaker, gorgeous dig. He's been responsible for a lot of digging in this last round. Yeah, all in all, 9-8 for the likes of 500, as they look to hopefully stave off history repeating itself.
They actually have a decent complement of weaponry, arsenal of weaponry coming into this round here, even though it's an eco. Scout in play, already found a tag. Bubble softened up. Dreamer also tenderized. He'll be finished off. Ideal starts the round here for 500. However, Danny's reign of terror has been brought to an end. Nikki with the USPs getting in the mix as well. Kills continue to come through. It's Rainwaker as the chief destroyer. No surprise there at all. Oxygen in the meantime tries to get in towards the safe bomb site. Only has Nikki to deal with, but he takes so much damage to the USP. Patrick finishes off the kill, and 500 have essentially just won an eco.
Good lord, this game just keeps on delivering in all its wacky ways. Poison, he starts so strong, but Rainwaker, the spray is ridiculous. Things just continue heating on up here, Hayes. As I'll be honest, I feel like I'm lost in a haze at the moment. 500, the fact they're still getting away with all these discrepancies is ridiculous.
I mean, that's a devastating round for Voyvoda to lose, based on the investment they have, based on what they're playing against, and based on what that's done to their economy as well. 1 rifle, 3 upgraded pistols, a scout. They full force here loses. It's 12-8 on the T side of Nuke. That's going to be such a difficult position to try and recover. Ship spots our Dreamer. Make sure he keeps his teammates alive. Voyvoda have no more utility left. I mean, sure, a molly and a smoke. Poison. How does he not get the headshot there initially onto Ships, who punishes him? Nikki with a kill through the smoke. Voyvoda in tatters, shambles.
Tragedy. When the feeling is gone and you can't go on, Hayes, it's tragedy. I feel like I further waste my pop culture references on you, but regardless...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, you're close enough. Bubble. Close.
Maybe a movie reference.
No cigar. Gorgeous round. 5 left alive for 500. As it gets worse and worse for Voyvoda. And you know what I just found out though, Hayes?
Give it to me, Sneaky.
500 lost 12-3 to Honor Sun Nuke. That's 12-3? Sorry, 16-3
Yeah. Okay, even
to Honor
worse.
Sun Nuke. And yeah, they got 3 CT rounds. Nothing else. So it's not just that one slip up against the likes of Aurora. It is unfortunately slightly more consistent losing to sometimes very mediocre T sides.
I mean, that result was, you know, to be fair, coming up on 2 months ago.
That is fair. That is fair. But Aurora, not really. That's what, like
No,
a week ago?
the other day. Yeah, absolutely. Attention taken outside by Dreamer. Now his teammates make their way through Squeaky Door. Patrick just holds down mouse button 1 with the Galil. Easily mops up 3. Ship starts the round. He finishes it as well. And that is, yeah, super clean anti-eco round coming through for the CT side. 12-8.
Well, there's not much else to say about that round other than Patrick is a left-click warrior. Nice spray down. Voyvoda, they get good outside control, admittedly, but it doesn't really do much for them. Patrick is on an MP9 here.
That's okay.
What is he planning?
He's just going to play hut, I guess. No, ramp, aggression, lobby crunch. They're going to lobby crunch. Great flashbang. Completely lines up both the team players.
Oh
the
my
corner.
god.
Frags come through. Sleepy's found a kill, but that's not going to completely stop them from committing to the initial plan. Nicky destroys Oxygen, who's very slow to respond. He should have immediately pivoted to try and clear that squeaky door player and get the trade. He was still spraying in the smoke towards ramp. Dreamer hasn't shot the bullet or seen a player. He's just been watching the kill feed, Sneaky.
That was honestly gorgeous. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous round. I love an unpredictable lobby crunch this late in the game as well. I would never have seen it coming, and 500 very clearly did not either. Only one casualty in ships. That's honestly wild as Dreamer. Well, dreaming of a time where his teammates were alive next to him. Seems but a distant memory here. As
Well, they're still next to him. They're just
well,
in the grave.
yeah. He's found one of their
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
It's a sad theme here. The former Fiend player ebbs his way
Teen of
around
the
the
crime.
corner. As Nicky just slaps him up. Just slaps him around the face with
Slap
a
your
couple
what
of
up?
rounds of 7.62.
That's not a good reference. That's not a family show reference.
What, 7.62?
No, the one I said, because you said slap him up, I said slap your what up?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, well there we go. I got
I'm
one on you.
unfamiliar
at
with you.
least.
Got one on me as well. You'll have to type it out to me later and explain the joke to make sure it's still funny.
Well,
as
there
I
we go.
like
It's
to
in
do with
TeamSpeak.
mine.
Like I said, it's not family show friendly.
Oh, I see. I am going partially deaf from listening to gunshots all day.
Yeah,
I mean that with
thankfully
sincerity,
that's
which
just
is
in the
worrying.
game. I live in South Africa, so...
Oh, right, yeah, fair.
No, just a clarification. It doesn't actually happen. At least not where I live.
I mean, yeah, it might not be where you live, but it is a bit of a problem.
Not too far away, yeah. This round, well, Voyvoda have got a bit of an investment. Max round loss bonus behind them. Sneaky upgraded pistols, armor. One flash.
I should have hired some militia to help them out. As Danny Slaw, well, he's
Okay.
helped too. Sleepy helps himself. Nice frag on the Mac 10. Good money, good weapon. As Rainmaker is now a little bit isolated. Funnily enough, that's not where they're going to be ending up. Bubble, he was pretty nifty on the Tech 9 in the previous map, and I'm going to have to stop talking about Tech 9 prowess as he's immediately gunned on down. The Dreamer find a dig. Patrick, nice readjustment, but there's an AK right underneath him. They're going to look to double swing in here, I can already tell. As he bluffs his lines on the Heaven player. This is starting to get a bit dangerous for 500. Dreamer 1v2, but bomb is dropped. And Nicky and Rainmaker should have this one covered. And there we go. Nicky gets the frag, a 3k to the tally. And look how much better he seems on the defense.
He's the hero of the round, though. He gets 3 kills, all 3 frags. So important as well. So impactful. Frags to just make sure that Voyvoda aren't actually able to get themselves in the round, because I think that briefly falls into a 2v3 favoring Voyvoda.
It does.
And that's when Nicky is able to activate. So wonderful work out of the IGL. Just you see, even though he's having a slow game, how much impact has he had with his kills just when they've needed him?
I mean, that's two. I mean, I won't call that one a clutch round as such.
No,
but it was
sure.
Amazingly necessary kills as Patrick just flies through the sky, gets bubble early. He will not forever be blowing bubbles.
Very rough game coming through here for Bubble.
Yep, rough series,
mean,
in fact.
That's, yeah, what I mean. Series, a better word. I mean, Bubble was 6 for 18 on Inferno after getting his first 4 kills in the opening 3 rounds. He's 8 and 19 right now, a distance behind most of his teammates. Voyvoda expend majority of their utility to deploy the wall of smokes towards outside, but that's just a mere ruse. Look at how deep Denny is, though. He's posted up in towards lobby.
Oh, Denny. Almost a collateral as Oxygen flounders. Poison does try and respond. Poison, in fairness, has had a decent game here on Nuke. Significantly better than Inferno. Let's Still not going to be enough. There's Neki. He's looking to lock down this A-bomb site with Patrick. Dreamer ebbs his way outside as Poison squeezes his way up Squeaky, but any Squeak another round in before 500 seal the deal on them. They'll certainly try. It is still
Great
winnable,
angle.
but Patrick strikes in 10, and with Denny, Sleepy gets a kill, but is put to sleep quite quickly after. 15-8 now for 500. And this has been a dominant series through and through.
I love me a good off angle, Sneaky. Love the angle that Patrick was holding there. Just standing out in the open right here. Yeah, Dreamer, not ready for someone to be standing there. He's clearing the corners. Crosshair placement, not expecting someone to be there. 15-8. 7 map and series points here for 500. Not in our wildest dreams did we expect this to be as one-sided as it has been, even when we knew there was a stand-in for Voyvoda.
Yeah. I actually predicted Voyvoda to still win this. I saw Sleepy, looking pretty good in the grand finals that Voyvoda were able to win. A ship swings out another outside duel, looking for more. Poison finally puts it to bed, but Patrick's nade is brutal. It's just unfair. Bubble and Sleepy.
What is this
2v4.
position?
Patrick gets a freebie and a spray down. And a one-tap to seal it off. 16-8. Double the round count of their opposition on their own map. And this was just a dominant series for 500. They will be making a clean run to the quarterfinals as every single game today goes 2-0. And I think only one map went to double digits.
That is, by far and wide, the most one-sided the derby between these two teams have been. Because remember, this derby dates back to the Skade versus Fiend days, because you've got the cores from both of these teams, and it's never, ever been this one-sided before. Obviously, the team, the Voyvoda lads will say, yeah, we played with a stand-in, you know, still a fairly new roster, a few asterisks here or there, but you can't take anything away from 500. I mean, that was just a remarkable performance coming through from them.
Yeah, it was absolutely impeccable through and through. With a few small exceptions, it was an impeccable performance.
Yeah.
And, well, that puts them on to the next leg of the bracket. Why don't we take a look who they could be facing up next? We got the bracket ready for you here. So, of course, to start off the day, we had Monty decimating Harvu, who have had, again, a pretty rocky show of form lately. We had the likes of Ecstatic losing 2-0 to Gamer Legion. That was more of an expected result, I'd say.
Sure.
As Saw beat out Sangle, again expected, but in that fashion, certainly not. A near replication of their previous meeting that I casted a couple of months ago. As then Voyvoda beat out... they tried to, but failed miserably in trying to beat out 500. As again, they come out on top of this Bulgarian derby tomorrow. We got the likes of Sinners and Honoris, Astralis, Talent, Copenhagen Flames, Nexus and 9, and Let's Cook and Fnatic. I think the favourites there are definitely Fnatic and 9, probably Flames as well. Sinners and Honoris will likely be the closest game.
What I would like to point out is we actually have the teams who have been invited into the playoffs that are winning all their opening games today, or that did win their opening matches.
Yeah.
Normally it's the teams who come through the group stage who have got that fire coming into the playoffs, but this time the invited teams have slapped them down. They all won 2-0. In fact, this must be the most dominant day of CCT we've ever had. There was only one map that went to double digits for the team who lost it, and that was Sangel, who lost 16-14 to Saw on Inferno, the second map of the series. Every other map in all other 2-0s were lost in single-digit fashion. So that's just it's such a quick day. 2-hour best of threes across the board, if that, even less than that.
It was ridiculous. We still got 13 minutes to go for 2 hours, Hayes. Like, I still can't quite believe it myself.
Yeah. Not you and I used to grinding the nights away, you know, starting late because normally the game's behind schedule, and then doing 4 hours per best of 3 at the bare minimum, even if it's a 2-0 with all the OTs. So this is unfamiliar territory, Sneaky. I almost feel like I haven't worked hard enough tonight. I haven't been ground down to the bone where I'm really pushing through to make it work, right?
No, I mean, last time our series was so long, I had to tap out. I had to go lie down. So I appreciate you carrying me through this one as well.
We were good.
But just my one observation about that is all of the teams that were consistently making it through from the group stage are now ranked so highly in the world that they are the ones being invited. So that's my little theory for you there, Hayes. 500, previously a group stage team, now playoffs caliber. Gamer Legion, I think they played through one group stage, but
Yeah,
okay, they're
Monty.
probably the outlier here. But Monty,
Copenhagen Flames.
much better example. Flames as well. They used to be the group stage grinders. They won a
Honorous,
CCT.
actually, by the way. Best
Yeah.
example.
Honorous, they're still up here and grinding it out. Invited to the CCT Multi-Finals. Played miserably there, but they're back in their weird and wacky online ways. There's a lot to discuss, and we've got so much time to discuss it. But I imagine the people at home are pretty bored of us now, hey? So would you like to wrap anything else up?
Here's the thing, Sneaky, is we're the ones in control, mate. So, you know, you can sit by and enjoy, or you can go find something else to watch. No, listen, let's just talk about the games coming through tomorrow. This is 11 o'clock. Okay, wait, is this the change of daylight savings time, actually, tomorrow?
Oh, God. Oh, no. Is that good or bad for us?
Don't take my word for it. I have a feeling it is, because I see tomorrow we start at 11 my time, which was 12 today. It was supposed to 12 was the start time. So I think we actually are...
Might be for you, but not for me. My daylight saving time starts on March 26th.
Okay, well, there we go. All right. Well, guys, don't take my word for it. Anyway, 9 versus Nexus, the opening game of the day. Then it's Copenhagen Flames versus Astralis Talent, Danish Derby, especially now because Farlig has joined Copenhagen Flames. Regali's been benched, Sneaky Beaky. And then Honorous versus Sinners, the third game of the day with Fnatic versus Let Us Cook to round it out. So that is the action lined up for tomorrow. But that is, tomorrow's conversations. Mates, it's been good joining you. A pleasure as always. But why don't you close this one up for us?
Yeah, well, on that note, Hayes, it has been a genuine pleasure as always. Thank you to production. Also, shout out to today's replay operator. Crispy, absolute bangers.
Agreed.
And with all that said and done, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for 2 very quick best of 3s, 4 best of 3s in total. And with that, we both sign off for the evening, and we'll see you all very soon. Good night.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.